So there's a podcast called Texas Ag Today. It's put on by the Farm Bureau. It's really interesting. It's about 23 minutes long every weekday. Highly recommend listening to it. Right now, our concern is that the Democrats are putting more urban people on the agricultural committee than rural individuals and even Texans, and that's a huge concern.
I've said sitting
That opened up a can of worms.
No, I've said sitting in this very studio that rural Americans, rural Texans, 2 years ago, Rural Texas Coalition came into my head as a PAC to get rural Texans elected to national government to represent the people that are underserved. And I said it. I think I said it at Cowboy Stadium. I said that we're like the most underserved demographic of human beings on planet Earth, and people got they were like, oh, and I'm like, listen,
prosecuted too.
I said rural Texans. I didn't say a race. I said rural Americans. We're sitting in the big city right now. I could see the air coming in this morning. I was like, that's gross. You know what I mean? But I get here, and it's like everybody here votes, but they don't know where their food comes from.
No.
They don't know how the food's made. They don't understand any of the water issues that the country is going to have, like getting clean drinking water. You know what I mean? You can look at the water running out of the Trinity River here south of Dallas and no, that ain't it. You know what I mean? That's not
It's a massive problem we've had for generations, at this disconnect between rural and urban communities, and removing rural influence in the school system. I honestly think as a kindergarten, first grade, second grade, all the way probably through your elementary school years, I personally think should be a requirement to have some sort of agricultural education.
They need it so bad because what happens is you have an entire voting block of millions of people deciding who our senator is going to be for this state, right? That's going to go to Washington and represent us, and they don't represent 90% of the GDP of this state.
Yeah,
the GDP of this state is oil, it's energy, and it's food. That's the GDP of Texas. There's probably a lot of medical and technology, probably in there somewhere, but oil and food is how Texas pays its bills.
Yep.
And they legislate against both industries nonstop over what they see out their back door, which they can see their air, that doesn't affect 90% of the state.
It's really sad.
It's like, I understand you can see your air in Dallas. It's nasty. It's gross. People throw their trash on the ground.
Yeah. But that's the funny part is even from an environmental standpoint, there's been this huge movement of environmental safety, protect the environment. The government doesn't give one jack crap about the environment. They use that as a marketing scheme. The agriculture, of agriculture
gives way more of a shit.
Yeah. Agriculture itself accounts for less than 10% of greenhouse gas emissions, and beef cattle is less than 2%. The number one is transportation. It's like 25, 30-something percent.
And so,
or industrial and transportation. They're kind of neck and neck. They're only a few percentages off. And that's from data Monday last week.
But they blame cow farts.
Yeah.